Hi, this is Brad Linder with Lilliputian, and I have here a box from Asus, which I'm pretty sure I know what it contains, but let's take a look inside and find out for certain. As you can see, it's an Asus Eee PC model, and yeah, this is a review unit, which has already had this seal broken here, of the 1201N, which is a laptop that has a 12.1-inch display and NVIDIA ION graphics and a dual-core Atom processor. Inside the box, we've got the warranty card, Windows 7 Home Premium. This actually comes with Home Premium, whereas most netbooks ship with Windows 7 Starter Edition. User manual, and on the bottom we've got power brick, and power cable, and battery information. So I can set those aside for a moment and take a look at the laptop. First, let's take a quick look around the sides. We've got SD card slot, 2 USB ports, microphone, headphone, Ethernet, Kensington key lock. Nothing on the back. On the side, we've got VGA, power, USB, and HDMI. On the bottom, there's a single access panel for memory and possibly some other components. I won't know for certain until I open that up. Battery, which is a 63 watt-hour battery. The battery sits almost flush with the base of the unit, but not quite, just a little bit of a bump. And then looking inside, we've got a 12.1-inch 1366 by 768 pixel display, a multi-touch touchpad which supports gestures such as 2 fingers for scrolling or pinching and zooming, 1 large button that you can click on the left or right side, a chiclet or island-style keyboard with flat keys and some space between each of the keys, many of them serving double features. You can hit function and F5, F6 for example for brightness, function and the space bar for overclocking and underclocking the processor using the Asus Super Hybrid engine, which is software that they include on most of their netbooks and many of their laptops. As you can see from the stickers here, we've got Intel Atom, Windows 7, NVIDIA ION. So those are some of the things that set this apart from others. For example, it has a dual-core Atom 330 processor, which is something that usually only winds up in desktops, not in laptops. Should make this a little bit faster, more responsive, and better at multitasking than a lot of netbooks. At 12 inches, I'm sort of reluctant to call it a netbook, but it's part of the Eee PC brand, and most of the Eee PC brand are netbooks. There's 2 power buttons. As far as I am aware, this one will actually power up the computer. This one will also power up the computer, but instead of booting into Windows 7, as this one would, this will boot into a secondary operating system, which is based on Splashtop. Boots in about 10 seconds, lets you get online in about 20 seconds without waiting for Windows to load up. Now, one of the most striking things about this laptop, I think, is, at least from the visual standpoint, and we'll be testing performance a little bit more later, is how much it reminds me of the Asus UL20A, which is a very similar laptop, except this guy has a Intel Core 2 Duo SU7300 processor. That's a consumer ultra low voltage, or a CULV processor, and it has integrated GMA 3500 graphics. It basically is faster than most netbooks in most ways. It has a faster processor, it can perform CPU-intensive tasks faster, it opens programs faster, etc. But the graphics processor in this is not as powerful as the NVIDIA ION graphics that are bundled with this. So even though it has a slower Atom processor, they both have dual-core processors, and this one's going to be able to play certain video games and high-definition video. For example, even though this will handle 1080p video playback on the UL20A, there's no HDMI output. That's sort of a weird decision that Asus made because the higher-end version of this laptop, the UL30A, which has a 13-inch screen instead of a 12-inch screen, does have HDMI. I don't really know what was going into that decision. But if you look at the keyboard, if you look at sort of the buttons, they're shaped differently, but again, 2 power buttons. If you look at the touchpad, they both have a single bar. They both have sort of a textured, bumpy surface, although this one, on the 1201N, the bumps sort of come up or raised a little bit. The bumps on the UL20A are actually recessed a little bit. But overall, very similar. And the prices aren't too different either. The 1201N sells for, right now, under $500 for the most part, whereas the UL20A sells for between $500 and $600. So it's sort of 2 different approaches towards the ultra-portable space. One, higher performance graphics, but lower power consumption and lower general everyday performance. The other, sort of more of an all-around workhorse that can't handle the same sort of graphic performance. So, there you go. We'll be testing the 1201N over the next couple of days, and stay tuned to liliputing.com and this YouTube channel for more information.